Got a critter in there? Oh, it looks empty at first glance, doesn't it, guys? But look who we have in here.
I'd recommend holding it from the back. The back.
Yeah, these little guys tend to they tend to get brave. Let me see if I can sneak I was gonna try to sneak my phone in there. I don't think here we go. They tend to get very brave. I'm gonna watch my fingers because they tend to get. Let me see if I put him down, if he'll come out for you guys, so you guys can see. Oh, buddy. No? I know, you're scared. He like sees me. I'll see if I anchor him a little bit and he'll come out, and I'll stand back. Stand back and zoom in, and maybe he'll come out and play. I'm just thinking about it. So the shell, the whelk, is no longer alive. The mollusk is actually gone, but the crab has inhabited the shell. It's a pretty big shell for that crab, so he's got some growing room for sure. Oh, he just doesn't want to come out. Hopefully you guys got a little sneak peek of him. He's very cute. Turn him around this way towards the sun. See, he's all the way in there. So it's a very good little home for him. But you see if you pick this shell up, right? Like, you would almost think it's empty. Because, I mean, if this was buried in the sand and you picked this up, at first, look at this. I mean, whoop, you wouldn't even think, hold on, let me zoom out real quick. You wouldn't think there's anything in there, right? Look at him hiding. So you just gotta make sure that you look really close. Come on, buddy. Come on out and say hi. He's thinking about it. Can you see his little eyes? Right there. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy. Hi. I know you're angry. All right, we're gonna let him be. But that was pretty fun. Pretty cool to see. We don't see hermit crabs very often here, especially in whelks like that. But that's a pretty cool whelk too. Look at the points on this. This is a really awesome shell. And he's got a really cool little kind of meat in there. Very awesome. And we are coming up on another fun little whelk here. Look how pretty this one is too. And I don't know if you guys can see his track that runs. The water's a little bit like wavy, but if you can see his track that runs right along there that he's making in the sand. Give you guys a little bit of a better view of it right here. This is little trail he's moving along. So fun to see them alive. They're always so like brightly colored. Can you see his little, I call it their little nose, even though they don't have a nose like we have it. Can you see him kind of checking out the sand there as he's moving? So you'd think that they would drag the tail, right? But they don't. That's actually the front part. So he's moving in this direction, this way. Pretty cool, huh? I just love seeing them. I just think it's so cool. And it's just such a beautiful day. So I'm kind of out on the sandbar. The tide's going out. Look how calm and clear the water is. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. You can just see everything out here. And shell. These are the days that I just love. Sometimes, you know, sometimes these are the days that the shelling isn't the best. You know, there's no big storm, there's no big shell piles. But sometimes these are the days that it's just the most therapeutic to come and walk, and the water's warm. And it's so clear, crystal clear, super pretty. And just so nice to be out here, just walking in the water, checking out the wildlife, the marine life. You can see down here. Nope. Just a slight breeze, not real windy. Here's a little crab, a little hermit crab. And the funny thing is these guys are so fast. If you can see him, I'm gonna try to grab him just so you guys can see the shell. But these guys, oh, these guys are, ouch, don't pinch me. Dude, come on, be nice. No pinchy pinchy. These guys are not shy. They will come right out and try to pinch you. Look at them trying to pinch, 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 pinch. How cute. This little guy, this little shell here. Hey, buddy. I'm afraid if I get my finger too close, he's gonna try to come out and say hi. But yeah, so these guys are pretty fun to watch. But again, just make sure that when you pick up a shell that you're flipping it over and you're really checking to make sure that nobody's home inside. So we're just gonna put him back, let him carry on, carry on. And we are just making our way to Lighthouse Point. So here's the beautiful lighthouse. It's so pretty. Oh, there's just something about a lighthouse. It's just love it. And it's so funny here because Lighthouse Point can have the most beautiful, calm, peaceful, crystal clear water. And it can also be the most terrifying, crazy waves, rip tides, rip currents that I've ever seen on a beach down here. So just because of the way it's situated right here with this like inlet. So it really is a unique place. But I always say, you guys will hear me say this a million times, and I know that I sound like a broken record, but a lot of times I say this for, you know, some of the new viewers that are just that are new to tuning in. But if you're visiting Sanibel and you are looking to see live sea life, so live whelks, conchs, starfish, sand dollars, that type of thing, Lighthouse is a great place. It is so full of wildlife and sea life here. Sometimes the shelling's great. I mean, sometimes we get a storm, and if the winds and the waves and the tides are going in the right direction, we get crazy shell piles to the point. But, you know, other times you're not going to have great shelling as far as seashell collecting because so many things are alive. So if you're looking for an experience, I should say, I highly recommend coming to Lighthouse. But just understand that you might not be necessarily filling your shell bags up because you might just have some fun memories with some photos. So here looks like a little conch, and I can't tell if it's alive or not, so we're just gonna reach down and pick it up and see. That's a beautiful little conch. I don't feel anybody pinching me yet, so. But I always kind of give it a shake in the water, get that sand out, and I always take a good look and make sure that nobody's peeking around in there, because like I said, sometimes these crabs, they get in there and they hide and they get scared, And that's why I always double check my shell bag before we leave the beach. So I always give my shell bag a good rinse, and then I always check the shells just to double check just to make sure that we don't have any little hitchhikers in there that we missed. Because let me tell you, as much as I check, you know, sometimes we miss, just like that big one back there. They get way, way deep in there, and we don't always take a live shell intentionally, of course, but sometimes there's sneaky little things. So let's just check out here and see what we got out here. Anything just so nice on the water is this clear. Look at a little school of fish. Can you guys see the fish? It's clear enough that you guys can see them. I can't really get too close because I think they'll swim away, but there is a school of fish there. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit of that. It's kind of fun. See over here, this is a beautiful wow. So pretty. Look at the color on that one. So I don't like to disturb them if I don't have to. I mean, if you pick them up, it's not a big deal. I pick them up a lot of times to show people what they look like and so forth and so on, but if you don't have to disturb them, I don't. I just like to observe, take a picture maybe. But look how pretty. Nice light one there. Super pretty. You can see his little, I call it their little nose. Very cool, huh? I just love seeing them. I never get tired of seeing the live shells. Like, live shells make me happy because then you know they're breeding. You know, they're making more shells, they're making new little shell babies, which is important. We love to see life out here. So it's getting a little shallow, a little break in the waves here. Let me turn around so you guys can see. We walked pretty far today, which is good. I don't have a puppy in tow, so it makes walking a little bit easier and quicker. And I will tell you too that when you guys come out here, just be mindful of the tides. Ooh, what is this? Remind me to tell you guys about the tides. Do you guys see the sand dollar right there? For you. There you go. Now you can kind of see it. See if it's alive. It doesn't look like it is. Oh, it's a piece of one. Oh. Oh well. Sometimes they're whole, sometimes they're not. So the tides. So right now the tide is going out. And you can see we're not super far from shore. But I will tell you guys that just be mindful, because if the tide were to be coming in right now, the waves will be getting a little bit stronger. And this gets really deep pretty fast. And all of a sudden you're far from shore and this gets really deep to cross. Okay, it's not super deep right here right now, but just be mindful when you're out here, and if it seems like it's really shallow, just know your tides, know if it's high tide, if it's low tide, if the tide is going out, if the tide is coming in. Just be very mindful of that, because you don't want to get stuck out here at a high tide and then all of a sudden you're having to like swim back to shore because the water got so deep. So there is something swimming. Did you guys see that? I don't know where it went. Where did it go? I saw it and then it was gone. I don't know, maybe you guys saw it on camera. Sometimes I see things and then they swim away faster than I can get to them. Here's a treat. I was like, is that a king crown? And it is. We do not see king crown shells very often here. They're usually a bay, like on the bay, kind of like a brackish, which means like a fresh and saltwater type of shell. But this shell actually isn't alive. The shell itself is not alive, but it is occupied. Can you see those little antennas there? So I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up. I'm trying to get pinched in the process. Got a little dirty shell there. So I'm gonna pick up, you can see the color of this shell. Okay, I'm try to hold the back here so I don't get my, if he decides to come out and say hello, I'm gonna try to get him in the sun. So you can see how his shell is very pretty. So there's a little crab in there. And it looks, here's the thing with crabs, this one looks like a tarantula, okay? Like, look at it, oh my gosh. I know, buddy, listen, I'm probably way scarier looking than you are, but you look like a hairy tarantula in there. You have a very pretty shell that's a little bit on the grungy, dirty side, but it is a very pretty shell. You can see the color right there. So this guy is occupied. It's alive. The shell itself is not alive. The mollusk is no longer in there, but this little guy has occupied this beautiful king crown shell. Good sized one too. I don't think he's gonna want to come out, but if I put my finger there, he would. He'd come out and give me a pincharoo. So we're gonna put him back and let him go back to his travels. So that was a treat. That was a treat. Usually we don't find a lot of king crowns shells in general here, live or not live, and that was really fun to see. So the hermit crabs are really funny because they pick their little shell that they like, that fits their little body, and they carry it around with them. And then sometimes, you know, if you're fortunate enough that they decide to change real estate and vacate their real estate, you are able to pick that shell up and take it home. But again, it's very, very important because, you know, usually if a seashell is alive, you can tell you've got that operculum on there, that trap door on there. It's very obvious that shell is alive. But those little crabs, I'll tell you, can you guys see the little school of fish right here? Here. I'll tell you, those little crabs can really hide. So you want to just make sure that you're double and triple checking. All right, we're coming up on another really big whelk. Just beautiful. So pretty, right? Love seeing these big guys. You can really see that whole animal outside. And then on this side, let's get over here a little bit for you. On this side, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but this little trap door there, the little operculum at the bottom, he has it open, he's able to come on out and move around. And just so you guys can see how low the tide is, all of that beach is uncovered all the way out from Lighthouse. So pretty amazing how the beach has changed just day to day. And it is pretty windy right now, you guys, so let me know if the wind factor is a little bit better. I'm trying out some new equipment, so to speak. So I just need to kind of play around with it and see if it cuts down the wind without cutting down my voice too much. So we'll have to play around a little bit, but hopefully this will be a little bit better. Look at the little starfish. Look how cute. It looks like a Florida orange. Let's pick him up and see what he looks like. Oh, look how pretty. So this little guy is alive, and if you can see his little feet moving, I don't want to leave him out of the water too long. You can see his little feet moving there at the bottom. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness, so pretty. I just love seeing starfish. Oh, and look over here. Oh, we've got more. Look. So this is a gray sea star. So starfish or sea star, either one. Look how pretty. So these also have the 5 arms. Oh, can you guys see him moving? Look at his legs moving. Let me just hold real still for a minute and you guys can see his legs. He's like making a little dance, doing a little dance. So cool. There's another one over here too. Look at this. Another gray sea star. So these guys are of course kind of gray, kind of tan, but kind of gray. And then they have this beautiful stripe going through the middle. And you can see all of his feet underneath. You guys see his little feet and little legs moving? See that? Wow, so pretty. Look at him back in the water. So fun. What a treat. What a treat to see some starfish out here. I love it. Like I said, Lighthouse Point is where you're going to find some really fun memories, fun things to remember your trip as far as pictures and experiences and live shells and sea life. Usually we've got some dolphins out here. Tonight it's a little bit rough and choppy, but maybe in a little while when the tide starts to change we'll have some dolphin action. Buttercup. I love buttercups. I love me some buttercups. Look at the beautiful yellow on the inside of that one. That is beautiful. Line, right? So here we've got your raft line, and this is of course like one of my favorite places to shell because just right here we're gonna dig up a little tulip, and right here we're gonna dig up a little cone. Oh, you guys! Oh my God! Look at this perfect. It is. Look at the baby tulip. Beautiful scallop. I mean, the same thing with scallops, you know? I mean, there's tons of scallops, but when you find one like this, that is just stunning.